Hey folks, Dwayne here, the Curious Sage, bringing you the transformative power of human connection. The topic I want to focus on today is afraid to be me. Now, if you followed my blogs over the last week or so, you'll notice there was a little bit of a theme developing about the masks that we wear that sometimes keep us from interacting with the outside world. And while these masks serve an important purpose for us in interactions where perhaps the stakes aren't that high or we need to try and protect ourselves in some way, it's kind of like the roles that we play in life. Wearing too many masks or having masks upon masks upon masks ultimately gets in the way of us being able to be in touch with our true authentic self. And so for people that have started this process of peeling the makeup away or pulling the masks off or stripping away some of these roles that you've been playing in your life just to kind of get by, sometimes you get to this point where you realize, oh, this is the real me. And it can be really, really frightening because the real you is not necessarily what you've been projecting to the outside world. And so you begin to question yourself as to whether people are willing to embrace the real you because what they see is something completely different. I think about the roles that we play oftentimes in our careers or at work, and that's a good example because oftentimes we end up having to interact with people that quite frankly we don't like, or quite frankly are actually very nasty or hard to work with. And so we have this mask that enables us to function reasonably well in those environments. And that is okay, but only to the point that you don't keep wearing the mask when you're in an environment where you're trying to build a relationship with somebody or you want to have an authentic interaction and all they see is this mask that you wear day in and day out. And so when you get to that point where you finally confront the masks that you've been wearing and you see into your true self, or you begin to see that you in the mirror, it can sometimes just scare the crap out of you because you wonder whether people will accept you in the true authentic self that you are. You might also be worried that people have been maybe accustomed to seeing you in a certain way, and now you're going to strip that mask off, and will they perceive you to be in a masquerade, being fake in some way, or are they really going to recognize the true you? And so one of the things that I think is important when you think about the mask that you wear and trying to be authentic is think carefully about which relationships or which situations you wear the mask on. Be very intentional about wearing the mask, but then be equally intentional about taking the mask off with relationships or with people that you care deeply about, because it's the true you that they want to connect with. And so if you don't take the mask off and you continue to kind of live this role that you've been playing in this other context, you'll never be able to connect with somebody as deeply because they'll only see the fake you that you're holding up as a mask. And so it is frightening. I will tell you, having gone through that journey myself, that there were times when I would wake up and kind of go, is this the real me or am I faking myself out? And at the end of the day, it's just being authentic in those situations where you know the stakes are high, the relationship is really important to you, and it's the true vulnerable, open you that you really want to portray, the real you want other people to interact with. So reflect on that. I think this is kind of the end of that series on masks for right now. I know there'll be more to come, but think carefully about where you wear your mask and where you don't need to wear the mask. And be authentically true to who you are where the stakes really matter the most. Check me out at the end of this video with my website. There's more material out on my blog, and I look forward to interacting with you.